What if deku had the power of the Dragon Balls? What I mean, Dragon Balls, but I mean, he will have the power from Shenron. He will have the look of the Shenron, if you see in this picture. No, he will kind of look like though. He will look like that, but putting more like a Deku face. And change that he have the hairstyle. Wait, give me a sec. What is it? What is it? Ah, put in that the hairstyle. Look like that. Uh, and put in the face too. I not find the perfect picture because someone delayed it from that. I think that I have it somewhere in somewhere, but I found that I will using that picture instead. But for now it will be this one. I'm doing different stories for now. I'm not trying to do something different. Uh, Oops, too much. But like I said, he will look like Shenron most, but putting in the Deku look and the thinking, I not really give him any like attitude as Shenron. He only look. He have the look of the Shenron, but he's get born, and also he will. But he using more power. He will kinda look like Purunga. And before I continue, if someone know about the Dragon Balls, you must look in all the series except the GT. If you're a GT fan, you can look in that, but I'm not a GT fan. But but it's part of the Dragon Balls, but I'm not like the ending of the story of GT. It was awful. Actually, the truth is that the whole series of the GT was awful. Like, literally awful. But it was not. But that's not important. The important is a Dragon Ball Super. It's more amazing. But he's using a Purunga, but he's using more like a power. I'm gonna say he will turn into Purunga look, but he's gonna grant someone's wish. He will look like a Purunga, except he will not he have the bodybuilding of Purunga, but putting the Shenron's look instead. And that's how the explanation I do. I try my best to do explain short, but it's not easy for me. So, and the Super Shenron's ability That's everybody coming in the most. He will have the unlimited wishes. Not wishes, unlimited power to grant wish. The Super Saiyan can literally creating all the universes will be destroyed by Sano will be turned back, coming back to exist till existing again. I don't know how really powerful that but it is a kind of godly level. So then, but I'm gonna say he will have a only for limit. Now, I'm gonna explain why he have the Dragon Ball abilities. Well, that's it again. The story begins, and there's gonna be a little backstory about it, or should I say, different timeline. In that timeline, they used to Goku Black all effing know Samasu. They destroyed the Super Dragon Balls, the Mechians Dragon Balls, and Earthlings Dragon Balls. Well, technically, they already destroyed the Earthling, the planet Earth, in that timeline. So, but Shenron's ability disappearing more. The statue of the Shenron was more damaged than ever. So before Dende died, he made it, and the last thing he did to create an energy orb for Shenron to keep living. So Dende gave up all his power to make it Shenron, where it's only one can have own thinking, live his own, have own life, without a connection to him. Shenron kind of feels sad about he lost his own creator, but he understands why he did that. But he noticed that this world, he could do nothing. Soon the Purunga and Super Shenron came. First, Purunga saw Shenron and asking him what happening, and then he explained everything, and it kind of happened to him too. The difference is Super Shenron was humongous big, a lot bigger than both of them. Shenron's kind of felt smaller due to the Purunga, and Purunga kind of felt proud about that. But suddenly they didn't see the Super Shenron was gigantic, like literally, he is almost the biggest in the universe. Seriously, he's fucking a giant, bigger than all the entire galaxies. So there's a kind look like, wow, he's huge. All of the two of them three of them talking, and Shenron think about it something. He says, why not refusing we together so that we become new one? Purunga kinda not not liked that plan. But I know that Super Shenron agree with this because he can do nothing this time. And they notice that Grand Shadow will erase this universe, and the timeline will be erased too. So they want to erase from existence. So before it be erased, they used Super Shenron and Purunga fused with Shenron. As Shenron noticed something, his power was unstable, so he created an unlimited power. But he cannot. His body is not strong enough, so he needs someone to take his power. Someone can take care his new power. But he will not forgive it. He had the unlimited power of the Super Shenron's power. Increased is even more combined with the Purunga's power, and his own power is far more greater than before. You can literally creating your own universe. Literally, Super Shenron can do that already. But it's not the power of the Grand Wish. It was physical bodies was stronger. So Shenron opened a portal, an interdimensional different timeline portal. And they get in and before it didn't exist and erased. He came out of there safely, but he noticed something. His body, his soul, but his power was still acting. So they're thinking, damn it, if I not found the right user, the power will kill me. And he noticed he could come to the other Earth. Earth was a full my life. But this universe was completely different. He noticed that there's no science, no mechanics. Those not exist there. Not even Frieza's race not exist. He noticed that it is similar to his own universe. Different as those warriors don't exist in this world. Not yet. So Shenron floating on the sky. He made him invincibility because he don't want to see literally a gigantic dragon floating on the sky. And this world was a My Hero Academia world. So, as Shenron was floating, he felt something, noticed. He cannot understand, but he noticed he found a perfect someone have worthy he can use his power to do something for right. And that's why Inko was still pregnant with a little Izuku or Deku. And it was only 1 week before Deku get be born. So Shenron found the perfect user, that someone can use this power. But he won't fuse with he will only give the power to him, the body, how to use the power. Everything how to use the power and the body, but the feeling will not be same. Deku will still Deku, but he will look like a dragon. So he created the 7 balls, but he made it a limit that he used his power. So he in creating that. Then he gave it all, but he putting all the 7 balls inside of Deku's body. His body go to changing one day, but I like the first feeling about using the Dragon Balls feeling, and that's Shenron died. His soul disappeared because the Grand Senos power managed to touching him, but it was long enough to give to Deku the Dragon Ball's power. All 3 of them. The look of the Shenron. The boulder building to use in the grand wishes is Purunga. Fused with Shenron's look with Purunga. And the last, the most powerful of all of those two, is Super Shenron on the limited power. And also but he locked in all the 7. He kind of will be similar to do the Super Shenron. You're summoning him. Now, get back to the story. After Shenron died, after that, 1 week passed, and and Deku was supposed to be born. But something happened. Something was different. The birth. It was not the same thing as many people they born with those who get in birth they use by quirk. But something was odd. But Inko know the something, but no, not Inko. The doctors, yeah. The doctor noticed the Inko began glowing like a gold. And they thought but one of the doctors says it's not her quirk. Something is, but it turns out it was not from her. It's from her stomach. It's from the baby. It kind of looked like it was trying to get out. And that's it, the glowing began to, but it glowed. The sky turned dark. And lightning striking down. But it was not the normal color of the lightning. It was green lightning. Light. It was powerful and it was many heroes are those who can control Veldo. They cannot do nothing. It's kinda they have no control over that. Something was more powerful than their own quirks. Was so powerful enough. It's impossible to remove the storm. An earthquake began. It was so powerful earthquake. They don't know what is going on. And Inko think about this, the pain he feeling. Inko says in her mind, I just wish they came out of from my stomach now. Or something. I don't know what Inko thinking, but I'm gonna say that for now. but it's more nicer if I put that way. As you know, Inko said that he noticed that the pain disappeared immediately, and then something glowing up the ear. The doctors were kind of on the back down and falling in the bottom of the floor. It's kind of, what the what's going on? And that day after Dagger was just though he was born, and that's his dragon form. He he's looked like a dragon deku. And this kinda amazed Inka about it. And the doctor's kinda, what the? Are you not even, what the? They are really confused about this. What happened? No one can even answer about it. After Deke was born, the sky, everything go back to normal. Like nothing happened. Everything was normal again. The storm and then the earthquake, everything was back to normal. So, after that, the scientist trying to figure it out who created this awful storm. That was so that scared many people. The storm was even worse, and everything as they fought their life. So we're gonna do a time skip a day because he's 4 years old. As back ago, Ma and Diego trying to do almost the whole his own plan to have works. He getting a little mad about. He kinda get sad about this. There's something he felt inside of him, and that's why he was outside the outside of the kindergarten, the playground. He felt there's something inside of him. He trying to, and that's how something happened. After 4 years, the scientists did not found a person get that. But something happened. It began to do it again. After 4 years. And the scientists and the heroes and the teachers, everyone's seeing that this guy turn dark. But like really dark. And green lightning striking down. After a paar minutes, the earth began shaking. Like shaking slowly up. The teachers of the kindergarten collecting all the children except one. But they notice he glowing. They're trying to stop him to stop that because the storm may begin again. But they notice something. The green light is striking down on him, but kind of had no effect on him. And this kind of surprised them most. But it not that's a, but that's not a surprisingly see. No, something he began striking the lightning back up to the sky. A gold light came out of the Deku's body, and 7 dragon heads come out and began infusing all of them to one. Into he looked like, and then after the glowing, the bright light was over, the teachers of the kindergarten looking up, and they began shaking by pure fear. The children was kinda scared or amazed. They don't know what they feel about that. The scene literally a huge, huge dragon, a gigantic dragon, and the whole city can see him. Many people are supposed to kinda villain attack, but they know that it's not the dragon not attacking. It's just floating out up the sky. Nothing more. But they noticed that the dragon was have the eyes closed. But then Deku opens his eyes. He notices he feels something different. He feels so powerful. But it's just only level 1 for Deku's power. And this is just only Shenron level about his power. But he begins to speak. He's saying talking like a Shenron. Slow motion, but he moving his mouth. And that's what he's gonna do his rest of his life. Talking like that. But not scaring. That only using his to grant wishes. And he says, "Wow, so this is the power. I feel so powerful." But he notices he looking down, he sees that he was humongous. He was literally big. And it's kinda, whoa, I'm huge. This impressed Deku. The teachers was kind of fear hearing that voice and like a dragon voice talking. But he noticed it's a kind of kid voice at the same time. But he noticed that it was the same spot that Deku. They began calling, saying, "Isoko, is that you?" One teacher yelling at the Deku. And Deku noticed, and he looking down. The teachers kind of was a little scared about this, but he noticed Deku was not attacking them. He's kind of feel something he need to say, so he said that. "No, state your wish now, so I can fulfill the wish." And this kind get off many people off guard. A dragon says, "State your wish." What wish? Many people think about it. And I'm gonna say Inko was kinda almost there, and then he picked up the Deku. It was ending of the kindergarten. Inko was seeing a huge dragon, and it was at that place that he believed that his Izuku was attacked by a villain. So Inko driving that the fast as possibly could before he to get there. And the news and recording this at the whole world, and even also they using the helicopter to recording this to see the humongous dragon. It was literally bigger than the helicopter. And you can see only below the red eyes. But he said that, but the teachers they asked him about what kind of wish he mean. And I'm gonna say, Katsuki Bakako is literally in fear now. He's seeing Deku was like humongous big. He can just squeezing him like a bug. And having that bodybuilding as a Piranga's bodybuilding as a first level 1 is kinda scary as shit out of you. So Deku will explain about it, what he mean about it. And he explained, well, you see, I can grant any wish you want. To creating an if you want to have eternal youth, immortality, if you become rich, or conquer the world, I can grant any wish you want to do that. Also, I can even also bring people back from the dead, or killing the people, creating the medicine, special medicine to take away all the sickness from the world. Creating the sickness. I can do whatever you want. But there's only one wish I can do now. Now. And this could got off all them, almost all of them will have that wish. But he says it can only grant one wish. One of the teachers of the Kingdom Golden have one wish a day is enough. But as Inca come, and he said out loud, Izuku, if you hear me, I have a wish. There goes looking down and see her mother. And he listened. And Inko says, Izuku, I wish you have a code that only use your power if it is really necessary to use the power. But only I can use it. But to do that, no one can read my mind to trying to figure it out. No matter if you're using technology or the quirk. Nothing can read my mind, as only I can trade in code. And Deku says, your wish is granted. No one you can creating a code to summon my power. But at the same time, when not no one can read your mind, no matter if it is a technology or a quirk, have nothing to do with my power, have no effect on you. Your wish is fully granted. I take him, may I farewell. And he began glowing, and he turned back to normal. He shrank down, and he turned back to normal and passed out. Using the first time in using that, he get tired about it. So he turned. So, but Inko picked him up. Inko noticed something. A ball come out of from Deku's back and began floating around Deku. It was only his back. And this kind of giving it little confused. But Inko created the code have to pick him up and whispering in his ear, and he says, "Eternal Dragon Suku, I summon you and grant my wish." That's the code that he can use every time when he's using that power. But I'm gonna say every time every time he's using that for using the to grant wishes, he's getting stronger. But the longer he stays at the form, he grows stronger. But he only have a time limit to use stay in that form. Just to tell you about it first. Now, after everything happened, many villains tried one of him. But the nose said that he have a code and coded it from her mother's own her created. And for villains to think about it, they can using someone have a brainwash, can use it to brainwash it to make her to tell about the code. But the news says, for all you to the whole world, they made the dragon at the son that this the mother creating a code as a, but it had no effect if you have a if you're using technology to read minds, even in a dragon, or to read minds about the quirks, even in a brainwash them, have no effect on them, effect on her. It's nothing gonna work. Even forcing her he will not tell about the code. If the code is last forever, we can never summon dragon, never summon this boy's power to grant any wish you want. Many people's kinda disappointed about this. Many people wanna you have that wish. But Inko is not he's not stupid. He thought about something that's gonna happen. To telling the whole world about that. So Inko think about it and he helping give it Deku try and have a normal life. But it will not be easy. I'm gonna say it's gonna be similar to canon, but the difference is he will get bullied by Bakugo because Deku kinda like looking down on him and he kinda get mad. Something like that stupid thing. Get mad about it because he's looking down. And more because he look like a villain and to do having that dragon look. But Dragons doesn't scare of dragons. You might be understand that. If you see a real dragon right in front of you, you might be scared. The first time you see a dragon. Sorry about it. As everything was similar, as Deku was 10 years old, yes, it is a big time skip to 6 years. As Deku was 10 years old, Deku was playing his toys in his room. Not only playing, to writing down and to trying to do a training planning and get. He was old enough to do a special training. He think about it. Oh, I'm really sleepy. I need to go to bed. Well, after I'm recording the story, I will go to bed. Now, as I was explaining, Deku, no, Deku still, he train, but he don't train hard. He train his body to be strong enough that he can do that the really hard training he's planning to do. And he looking for the more dragon's abilities. He cannot firing fire breath. He don't have it, but he know he have the strength, speed. Not just he need to train up the speed, but he have strength. Enormous can take really good damage. And I I will figure out more. And also, oh yeah, he have those claws. Claws that they are. He can change them into different. And if he want them sharp, he can turn into the sharp. And if he don't have it on not sharp, he can turn them in like it cannot hurt the people. But he can only use it when he's needed to the battle. So he have it in the battle mode. And he's kinda he look like as skinny as a cannon. But he's trained. But like I said, he don't train that hard till the ending of to middle school. Now, we're getting back to story. As everything goes similar, but this is gonna be huge different. All Might will not be injured in the store in this as a canon. No, All For One will be injured. Instead, it will All For One will be still injured, but not All Might. But Sir Knight, but because why? Well, that's Night doing that. Night meeting Inko to talk about a seriously problem. Inko think about this. He's kind of don't want to do that. Inko called her son, and Diego came. He says, "Yes, mom. Who is that person?" And Inko says, "Well, Izuku, this is a Night Eye. He's a pro hero, but he asking for help." Asking for help? What help? And Night Eye, and then Inko kinda looking the Night Eye, and Night Eye not about telling about what the shit, the problem was. I cannot even say that word. Damn it. Ninko explained about it, but began to explain to Deku. Well, Izuku, All Might is injured, badly injured, so that there's no doctors can healing him. This kind of get out off guard by Deku as a fan to All Might, and All Might is a big injured about this. Really badly, so he cannot be a hero that at so long. So he says, if All Might is a big problem today, he needs my help, and I will do it for him. But before he can summon to Deku's power, Inko noticed that he had more balls and some floating around. Inko asked him, Soku, how many balls are there floating around now? And Deku says, well, it is actually up to the 3-star ball. I have 3 balls of floating around. Kinda. And how many time wishes we can do? And Deku think about it and he says, well, the max level is actually 2 wishes. And Naida was kind of widen about this. He says, 2 wishes? I thought you can only grant 1 wish. And Deku says, well, sir, I can actually grant one wish more, because I getting stronger about it. But I need to still train I need to train my quirk. But it's not a quirk, and Deku will figure out soon. But it's much later about this. Much later. And he says, I can only grant 2 wishes. But Naida says, we need only 1 wish. But Naida thinks about it first. And he says, wait, can you... For 6 years ago, you can actually bring people back from the dead, am I correct? And Deku kinda says, yes, I can do that. Like I said before, I can actually bring people back from the dead. And Aida says, wait, you remember what you said? Kinda, yeah, I remember my ability can do. I cannot use my full power. And neither kinda says, what do you mean you cannot use your full power? But the explanation will be, but they would not explain to Night Eye, so it will later to explain to the whole the class 1A instead about his power. That's the explanation will be coming. Now, as for Deku, and Enko shout out the code, saying, Eternal Dragon Suku, I summoned and grant my wish. And everything is that it is Summoner Shenron. The, the sky turned dark. Earthquake began. Green lightning began striking down. Everything in gold is similar, but something was different. Deku was even more. He was even more bigger than before. Lot bigger. He's kind of 5 times more bigger than before. Kinda scared the night I say, whoa, he's even bigger than before. He looks like he's 5 times more bigger than the last time he become this. And Inko says, well, he's getting bigger and he's taller. As you notice, he's kinda really tall for he's only 10 years old. And Nida was kinda widened about it. A child, he looked like almost a teenager. Height. But I don't care about it. He says, so he walked up and he shouted out. He says, I wish all the innocent people were killed by the villain called All for One. Bring them back to life except the really, really bad people. And Deku says, it's a dragon voice. He says, your wish has been granted. Give me a sec. And he bring them back, and then his eyes begin to glow even more redder. They didn't even notice that his eyes was glowing. And it shocked the most who people. But there's something most surprising. The many innocent people coming back to life. But the bad people, those are really, really bad people, they never came back. No, they stayed there. They stayed there at the box. And then many people are happier because everyone is come back to life. And they have the second chance to live. Many people looked up and see the dragon. The dragon that they saw before was a kinda. He was the one who bring them back to life. And they shout over calling him, and and they call him and they gave him the nickname. They call him Shenron. And Diego kinda liked that. He kinda liked it because he calling his quirk as Shenron, and many people kinda like it. So they call him Shenron many times. After in that night, I wished the last wish he used. And he asked Deku, I wish that Olma was healed again, fully healed. And Deku says, your wish is granted. All Might is felt healed again. But he was sleeping in 1 week. But in by time he will be fully healed again. And Deku finished that wish. So he turned back to normal. And sleeping. And he slept. He freed. I'm gonna say, by using that power, he will sleep really long time. So I'm gonna say he will sleep in 2 weeks. 2 weeks he will sleep. And that's how I'm gonna ending the story. And and the next part will starting on the anime. That's it gonna be start. The story in the next part of what if Deku have the power of the Dragon Balls? Now, what if Deku had the power of the Dragon Balls? The Dragon Balls power. Yeah. What if Deku had the power of the Dragon Balls? I didn't actually found a better name to say that. But for now, I hope all you people look in the story, and I'm saying if you like it, give it a thumbs up and subscribe and put on bell and click the bell too to find out about the next part of my what if. And this is ORP Broly saying peace out.